Aviation is a spookier industry than you might first think. From dead-rising zombie airlines and ghosty boys, to sky-high fuel prices, it all can be quite frightening. And did you know that people aren't the only ones to don new identities and masquerade as others? Airlines, in fact, do it all the time. In this video, we'll take a look into who is pretending to be who. American Airlines has their iconic version of the American flag on all their planes' tails. Alaska Airlines culturally appropriates Eskimos, and Spirit flies stubby bananas for some reason. For airlines, brand awareness is very important. So much so, in fact, that even when they hire other airlines to fly for them, they insist that their schemes get painted on the contracted aircraft, as if they were their own. Now, perhaps the best known example of this practice is with the regionals. These are airlines that fully exist pretending to be others and almost never have scheduled service under their own brand name. For example, if you're flying to Billings from Salt Lake City and you get on a Delta Flight 3817, you are not flying Delta Airlines. You're flying a regional called SkyWest. SkyWest Airlines is the king of regionals. With a fleet of over 500 aircraft, they fly under the banners of Delta, American, Alaska, and United. Some other regional airlines include the likes of Commute Air, Air Wisconsin, GoJet, and Mesa Air. Mesa Air is an interesting regional carrier because not only do they fly passengers, they've also gotten themselves into the freighter industry. Back in 2020, they began flying a 737-400 for the behemoth that is DHL. Now, DHL, while not as ubiquitous in the United States like FedEx or UPS, is still a massive global organization. They specialize in expediting parcels and freight internationally. This obviously requires a comprehensive air cargo network on a worldwide scale. And when you're dealing with so many governing jurisdictions, this could be an impossible feat to achieve on one's own. Hence, why DHL relies on others, many others. Currently, DHL is working directly with roughly 30 airlines across the globe. When some of these airlines fly for DHL, they use DHL's iconic hybrid livery that usually takes the form of a yellow tail and white fuselage with the operator's logo being prominently seen. In most cases, however, DHL's airline partners are happy to wear the full DHL scheme. This is European Air Transport Leipzig, this is ABX Air, and this is Aero Airways. And by the way, this method of hiring others instead of doing it yourself at scale by DHL was the direct inspiration of Amazon's airline division that we see today. Because, you guessed it, Amazon Air doesn't really exist. Like DHL, they hire other airlines to wear their colors and do their flying. This is Sun Country Airlines, this is Atlas Air, and this is Silver Airways. When looking for partners, they approach passenger airlines just as well as the traditional cargo airlines. Sun Country and Silver Airways were totally focused on passengers before ever getting into business with Amazon. There's even an airline in Canada that pretends to be FedEx Express. It's called Morningstar Express. And passenger airline Air Belgium is the flying force behind ocean shipping giant CMA CGM's cargo airline. But don't think it's just big cargo carriers that have little airlines dressing up. There are so many unique examples of this practice taking place all around the world. The National Geographic plane is an Iceland airplane. The UK government's A321neo VIP plane is actually owned and operated by Titan Airways instead of the UK itself. Titan is also the actual operator behind Geodes's A330 and the Four Seasons' A321. One of the most iconic planes there is Boeing's specially built Dreamlifter. But despite even having their own pilots, Boeing doesn't actually fly its Dreamlifters. That's done by Atlas Air. Want to take a ride on Zero G's 727 Vomit Comet? You'll have fun, but it'll be an Everts Air pilot jostling you around. Skiing New Mexico this winter and hopped on the exclusive Taos Air? Wrong, you actually hopped on Advanced Air. The list of examples goes on and on, honestly. Kalitta Air and Atlas Air are two of the airlines that have done quite well wearing other airlines' paint. But at least they're working with those airlines when pretending to be them. An airline that's planning to work against its inspiration is an audacious turboprop airline that is looking to completely steal an innocent Canadian Airlines' entire business model. Click on the video on the right to learn more about that. Thanks for watching till the end, and see you next time.